who's one celebrity aside from Bill Murray that you'd love to serve a cone to?
Oh, I've served them all.
Yeah.
I mean, 9 years, I've catered for everyone in Hollywood. I've got maybe one horror story that I won't share, but they're all, what's funny is that,
All right, leave the name out.
okay, we had one really bad story where I used to lead with this line where I would say,
welcome to the podcast, where we introduce you to incredible humans who share their journeys with the mission to inspire you to harness your own inner tenacity to drive your life and career forward. And now, your host, Adam Posner.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast where I bring you the best and the brightest in the world of business, marketing, and personal growth to help you harness your inner tenacity and drive your career forward, folks. My guest today is Joe Nicchi, founder of CVT Soft Serve, the Los Angeles ice cream brand that started from a refurbished Mr. Softy truck named Charlie and grew into a national phenomenon. And with the months of launching, Joe made headlines for his bold stance on influencer culture and a surprise Bill Murray cameo that helped cement CVT as an LA staple. Today, his soft serve empire spans from food trucks to grocery aisles with CVT's first of its kind ice cream in a pouch named LA's Food Item of the Year by Eater LA and now sold in over 3,000 stores nationwide. His story is one of grit, creativity, and the sweet taste of turning a street corner idea into an American brand success story. Joe Nicchi, welcome to the podcast.
thanks for having me, Adam. This is great.
I'm excited. First of all, we're just laughing. He's wearing a Yankee hat. I'm wearing a Met hat. Joe is a New Yorker at heart, LA transplant. I'm excited to get into it. But before I even do, I was just telling Joe that he was kind enough in his team to send us some samples here. And my daughter Nina and I got into them last night, and they are fantastic. And I'm not just talking shit. They are really, really good. And I'm sure that took a lot of work to get to that point.
Absolutely. Yes. It took years, actually.
And we're gonna certainly unpack that. But Joe, I'm interested in the origin story. I need to know how this New Yorker got to LA, got an ice cream truck, renamed it Charlie, and got into it. But before we get there, if you're open to it, may I ask what your parents did for a living? Were they entrepreneurial in spirit? How'd you get it?
My father's been in the restaurant business my whole life, so he's definitely been in that world. My mom has not so much. So yeah, I definitely got I had a lot of modeling as far as working hard and drive and crazy hours. So it wasn't foreign to me to start a food truck by any means.
Interesting. And what did your dad do in the business? Did he own restaurants, operate them?
Restaurants. And then in the early 80s turned to comedy clubs, which my brother now runs in upstate New York. So yeah,
no way.
Yeah, and then he did a ton of catering hall. I hate to use the word banquet hall. That sounds cheesy, but he does lots of weddings and catering.
People don't understand that these are not 9-to-5 jobs. These are jobs that are born out of passion and hospitality. What was one of those like early core lessons that you learned from watching your dad grind it out?
I mean, he doesn't want to hear this probably as his son, but truly there are no off hours. You work nights, weekends, holidays. That's how it is. Whatever the customer wants, they get. And that's kind of how it works. So I learned to deal with that, but no, it's definitely you reap the rewards of working that hard. So and I also think I learned from him. He's definitely has a hard time being hands off. So hiring staff, no one's going to care as much as you about your business. So there's definitely a lot of that in me as well.
Isn't that so true of any entrepreneur in any small business? And you have to understand that no one you can't expect folks to care as much as you do. And that's okay. As long as they care, but when they see you caring and putting the time on, that's going to pay exponential dividends, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It starts from the top, and I think people see that you're working hard. They want to replicate that. So
absolutely. So, what was your first foray into the food and beverage hospitality space?
Okay, so with CVT, or as a kid, or like with CVT?
Yeah, as a kid.
Oh, I waited tables. When I'm a walking cliche. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 18 years old to pursue TV and film, and I worked every crappy actor day job. I was a waiter at many places. So food service has been around forever in my blood. So yeah.
Was ice cream something that was always part of your childhood? Where did the passion for ice cream come from?
Growing up in upstate New York, we would go to these soft serve shacks, and people who grow up in New England, they know that you can get soft serve from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and that's it. And then it shuts down. It's like going to these like Carvel type stands or whatever. Yep. So yeah, we used to go on the weekends. It was a great thing. And then I moved to Los Angeles, and it didn't exist, and it made no sense.
Why not?
It was nice 9 months out of the year in LA. I was like, it was frozen yogurt. It was healthy. It was green juice. I'm like, where's the good stuff? So I asked people in LA who grew up there, I'm like, where do you get soft serve? And they said, I guess McDonald's. I said, no, that's garbage.
Wow. That's frosty. That's not real. That's chemicals.
Exactly. So I said, I joke when I say that we opened out of frustration, but I complained about it for 15 years. This doesn't make any sense. Why isn't there soft serve in LA?
And what's so good about soft serve? I want your take, and I'm going to give you mine.
Okay. It's just super creamy. It's light. I'm trying to think of the best words here. I'm not an Anthony Bourdain food critic by any means.
It's just refreshing, right? Like it's and you have to eat it right away.
Yes. It's fun. It's nostalgic. It's
messy.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. But yes.
Not anymore, and we'll get to that in a minute. We have a place we were just talking about. I'm out here on Long Island, and yes, I grew up in Carvel. I have a Fudgy the Whale cake every birthday, Father's Day. That's my thing. Yep. I love the amalgamation of the fudge and the crunch and everything. But what I truly love, they got this place in Long Beach by the beach here. It's called Marvel. Marvel was started around the same time as Carvel, and they got multiple flavors. They do the bonnet dip. They'll dip it in the chocolate sauce or the cherry and everything too. And it's just like, and it's experience. You go there at the stand. You don't take it to go. You eat it right there.
Yep.
You have to have it. So I want to go back to the beginning here. First of all, where did you get a Mr. Softy truck on the West Coast? Did they have them out there? Did they have ice cream trucks?
No. So I had this idea, I want to mix a soft serve truck in LA. This is crazy. That doesn't exist. Roy Choi was really doing it with Cody Barbecue and like putting food trucks and social media on the map as Twitter was coming up. And I was like, I would go to these events and it was all these really unique food trucks, but I was like, where's the ice cream truck? This is absolutely crazy. So I decided after years of thinking about it, I'm going to do it. And I knew I had a classic product. I want to have a classic truck. LA's a very image conscious town.
Right.
So I want to get a classic soft serve truck. And I found it of all places on a Craigslist posting out of Texas. So that was our first truck. I now have a couple trucks, but the first one was out of Texas Craigslist. It was a 19...
Did it need a lot of work?
It needed more work than looking back now, I should have probably scrapped the idea. To get a 1961 truck up to code in 2014 when we launched was insane. And everyone looked at me like, why don't you just get a modern truck? I said, because I want that classic look.
And talk about the first formula without giving away the secret sauce here. Like what makes soft serve different than traditional, frozen ice cream that you're scooping out?
It's butterfat content, the amount of air that you put into it, obviously the flavor itself. So, we're definitely not a low fat item. I'm not hawking health food. I'm okay. No. But I do see that soft serve gets a bad rap because there's a lot of chemicals in it. So we made sure that our stuff was clean.
And it's good too. And we'll get to the packets in a little bit. I think it was like 310 calories on the packet, which isn't terrible. It's not, you're eating dessert. You know what you're getting into. So let's go back to this first truck.
Sure.
You refurb it. You're putting the money in.
I launched in March of 2014, and we took off right away. People were really into it. And then, as a joke, Bill Murray was filming a movie in my neighborhood. I lived in Sherman Oaks at the time, and he was filming 2 houses down. So I said, I want to meet my idol. I love this. So I threw a Bill Murray ice cream social. I invited everyone. I think the website was called Nextdoor. I don't know if it still exists, but all people in the neighborhood, hey, Bill's filming. I show up to set. The producers and all the security are like, get out of here. I'm like, no, I just want to meet him. All the ice cream's free. So we sat around all day. He didn't show up. And then at the end of the night, he showed up. He comes on the truck, has ice cream. We take photos. It was the coolest thing ever. That was just that was the whole thing. It was
everything.
And that was it. So I thought. And my friend Chris, he put it on Reddit. I didn't know what Reddit was at the time. He said, you're never going to believe who came to my friend's ice cream truck. It became the #1 post on Reddit. On the next day, we were on the Today Show, Good Morning America. Everyone wanted to hear about this Bill Murray ice cream commercial.
That's all it takes.
It was overnight. We had a line down the street like the movie Chef. It was the best free press.
Right. So it's a combination of two things. Obviously, the free press, but also once people had the product, there's probably a lot of transplants out there like, holy shit, I've missed soft serve.
Yep.
This is great. We've been missing this. I mean, you're down at the beach, you're in the warm weather locations, and it had to take off. But what was one of those early kind of bump? Did you have enough product? Do you have enough inventory? What was one of those first roadblocks that got in the way?
The biggest roadblock that got in the way, these are great problems, is we got
these are good problems.
Bill, Hollywood started reaching out. So we quickly became known as a TV film catering truck.
I
got a ton of street business that was pissed off because they wanted the truck on the street. So I had to open a second truck. I wasn't going to turn down the catering money. And I also didn't want to upset all these new fans. So we quickly grew into a 2-truck business.
All right. Now take us on the truck. What were the flavors you had? Toppings? Anything special? Or is it pretty like standard traditional softy ice cream truck?
Chocolate, vanilla, and twist. We have rainbow sprinkles, chocolate sprinkles, and then the sort of eccentric topping was sea salt, which actually is our most popular.
I've never even thought about that on
out of
soft
like a
serve.
really fine, out of a pepper mill. It's incredible.
It just slaps, right? Like it
Yeah,
just brings out,
it's so
brings out all the flavors. So it's interesting, I'm doing my research here, and you said you took this stand against influencer culture, against this freebie culture. I mean, but there was still a bold move that went viral. How did that help shape the identity? Let's dig into influencer culture, because I have my own stances on it. I personally think in this day and age that influence could be bought. People are umping
yeah.
their numbers and they understand how to play the game. And
Yeah,
image is not everything.
this goes back to 2019, before influencer culture. The Kardashians, it was just
Right.
taking off. But leading up to that, for the previous year, I had actors, I had influencers, bloggers, whatever you want to call them, who would come to the truck, or they want me to throw a party for free in exchange for exposure. And I was like, I've got 2 kids. I can't do that. I got to pay their tuition at their nursery school. I'm
Buy the
sorry.
product.
At the time, it was like a $4 for an ice cream cone. Just pay for it. So as a joke, I made this sign that said influencers pay double. And I put it in the window just for fun. And I wasn't actually enforcing it. It was just a joke. And
Right.
same thing with Reddit. This guy out of Burbank, a regular customer, posted it. This thing went on internationally viral. I was in Time Magazine, the BBC in London, the Today Show in Australia. I struck a chord with small business owners around the world who are sick of people asking for free stuff. And what the irony, the irony in all of it is, I got more exposure for mocking the people that were promising me exposure. So it was incredible. And now I can see the value in some ways, but I won't pay for it. I want organic, natural. Someone tries it, they talk about it on their TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I don't want to pay for someone to bogusly talk about CBT.
That's so crazy too. We have a small business in our community. It's called The Barn, which is, if you're familiar, like the Dairy Barn drive-throughs.
Yep.
And for a while, it was kind of abandoned. And I grew up in this town here, and for a while, it was like, just a Dairy Barn. You drive through, you get your coffee, you get your milk. You don't want to get out of your car. And then it was purchased by a new owner a couple of years ago. And this dude put so much love and fun into it and created all these unique items. For example, right now during Halloween season, they have lattes in pumpkins carved out and specialty shakes and everything. And all these influencers are just coming, and there's lines around the block and everything. And, on the local web pages, people are complaining, there's traffic, it's blocking. I'm like, aren't you happy that a small business is doing well in the community? I'm like, shut the hell up.
So even in Southern California,
Right?
You go to San Diego, all the people there, they complain about the tourists that come in. I'm like, the tourism brings the dollars to the economy. Like, what do you want? So...
Oh man. So let's rewind a bit. How many trucks do you have at this moment before we decide to go?
I just have the 2 in LA, but what happened was, we became so popular after the influencers pay double story. People wanted our soft serve outside of LA proper, and we have these 1961 trucks. They max out at 30 miles per hour.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can we make soft serve to go? So I started selling the jugs of soft serve that you pour into machines. Colleges and restaurants, and then we started branding
food service.
Yeah, we call them CVTinis. We'd go and we'd vinyl wrap them to look like the trucks, and it was great. And then we got a call for a residential install, and it was Jeff Bezos. And Jeff put one of our machines in his house, and that was the light bulb moment for me of,
oh shit,
how do I get soft serve to everyone that can't afford a $15,000 ice cream machine in their kitchen? Nor would you want to do that. So,
imagine being able to be like, I'm not going to eat this every day, but the fact that I have it, and if I've guests over, a movie night, whatever it is, we could just have soft serve on tap.
Yep. So, and I didn't know, but he was sending his chef to our trucks regularly to bring it back to the house. And then when I launched this thing, and then because of Jeff, we had a machine into Joel Silver's house, the movie producer, a couple other people that I can't name, they gave me under NDA, but like we got some very prominent 1%ers that have our soft serve.
Imagine the West Coast is just like something like you don't even think about, like things that we take for granted on the East Coast. I mean, the trucks are still rolling down our streets today in early November. They don't stop, and it's like an institution.
Sure.
The kids gather, they park at they park in front of the parks. Like people line up for them. It's a thing. I can't believe it's not a thing in LA. Like that was mind blowing to me. And the fact you've created a community and brand loyalty about it. So let's get to the good stuff. Let's go back to 2023, the pouch. Like you have this, like, listen, people want it. Like, was it like just a natural progression of the product?
It was. So the Bezos thing was really it for me. I was like, how can I get soft serve to everyone that can't afford this machine in their kitchen? So I was like, I'd have people who they'd get a cup with a dome lid on it and take it home. And I would ask them, how is it? They say, we put it in the freezer and we take it out. It tastes like Ben & Jerry's, like a pint. But if I let it sit out and melt for a minute, it tastes exactly like your stuff again. So I was like, how the hell am I going to sell a melting product? So I started to figure that out. I got a food scientist, I got some patent attorneys, and we spent about 2 years of R&D. How can we make soft serve to go? It had to taste creamy. I didn't want to taste crystalline, icy. Is it even possible to do this thing? So what I did was, my wife was pregnant at the time. We now have 4 boys. We had 2 boys, and then we had twins. So she wanted a third, and we got 2. I got
You
4.
almost had 5. You almost. I mean, you're playing man. You're playing man defense over there.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So I had empty
Zone.
breast.
Sorry.
What's that? Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
playing zone defense.
Zone defense. Yep. So I had empty breast milk storage bags from my wife, and I took them to my truck and I started filling them and freezing them, and I'd give them to my friends, and they're like, what the hell is this? I'm like, just try it. And they loved it, and they asked for more, and I was like, okay, this could actually work. So through my Hollywood contacts, I have a prop master friend who made here's one of our pouches right here, but he made a pouch. He filled it with beans, and I brought it to pitch meetings. I said, look, this is what I have to offer, and this is what it tastes like. And I actually brought a breast milk pouch in, and they tried it. It was our first store was Gelson's. It was 27 stores in Southern California. And the guy took it in the room, and it just blew up from there.
So how is this the first time that's? I mean, there's if you walk up and down the aisle, the ice cream aisle, there's a lot of products out there. Yes. There's your traditional ones that we all know and love. There's the healthy ones, the sorbets. There's like fancy. There's everything. But how is there no soft serve on the market?
There's a soft. So Blue Bunny came out with a product called Soft. It tastes like a frosting. It's not. It's called a frozen dessert. It's not real ice cream. But other than that, I don't know. I'm not complaining. So
no, that's so crazy. So
people think soft serve, they think cone, they think going out for soft serve. They don't realize they could actually get it at their house now.
But you could also I mean, I ate it right out of the packet yesterday. But in theory, if I had a cone, I could squeeze it. I could pour it in a bowl.
We've learned from feedback over the last couple of years that people love the no mess. So we're really showing people consuming it from the pouch directly.
I agree with you. I didn't even need a napkin.
Yep. So
it's so funny too. Yeah, I just squeezed it. I put the cap on. I put it down on our side table while I was watching TV.
Yep.
And then I threw it away later.
Yep. So we launched May of 23, 27 stores. We blew it out of the water. The president of Gelson's called me, said we've never seen anything like it. Apparently, I didn't know this because I'm new to CPG. But they said, if you sell a pouch a day, you're a viable brand. And I was like, what? But you sell 7 pouches per store per week, USW. You're not going anywhere. Instead of the 7, we were hitting 120.
A day.
So a day or per week, per store. So each store was selling 120 pouches a week, where the benchmark was 7. So people were buying it by the case. And I attribute that to growing the brand for 9 years prior in Southern California. People wanted to support. Plus,
what does CVT stand for?
Chocolate, vanilla, and twist.
It's so simple.
Yes. And
don't overcomplicate shit, people.
I'm glad you asked that, because I intentionally named the company an acronym so it would force conversation. I wanted people to say, what's CVT? Oh, it's this ice cream. You have to try it, as opposed to Joe's Soft Serve or something like that.
Well, that's why I named my recruitment company NHP Talent Group. These are my daughter's initials. So when people ask me about it, they understand where I'm coming from and what my North Star is. So let's get into the CVG journey for a little bit. I mean, which people don't understand, and please unpack this for a little bit. What goes into R&D, going through the health department, getting, the FDA, and everything, like testing, research, labs, like what the hell? Like, how did you even wrap your head around that? Hopefully you had some good experts around you.
I had a couple of good experts around me. As luck would have it, and he's now my head of sales. He was a friend of a friend. His job was, he was a consultant helping brands avoid all the pitfalls in CPG. He said, I can help you. I love the product. And that's really how it started, with getting into stores. But yeah, there's a lot of legwork involved, and even the R&D behind it. Our first day where we filled these pouches was an absolute disaster, to the point where I took money from my friends and family, like an early round of investors. I was pacing the factory floor like, how can I give everyone their money back? This is not going to work. It was and again, I tell my kids this, and I tell anyone that wants to listen all the time, that social media is a highlight reel. I don't post all the failure. I only post the wins. There's a lot behind the scenes that it takes to get this stuff off the ground.
Well, let's go back to that moment, right? You're on the factory floor, and what was it specifically that was failing that you thought wasn't going to work?
So we knew how to make the ice cream, and we had a pouch machine that could fill but we couldn't marry the two. The timing was off. We were overfilling, underfilling. Pouches were exploding. It was truly like, maybe this can't be done because it hasn't been done, so maybe it can't be. Right. And we spent probably 8 or 9 hours, and then we got to the point where we flew in the technicians for the pouch filling machine, And they were kind of looking at each other, like shaking their heads, like, I don't know if this is
Why?
gonna
Is it because you put something in there and then you freeze it and it expands, or the machine was too fast? Like,
It was too fast. The pressure of the ice cream machine going into the pouch machine, it fluctuated. So
Mm.
you couldn't get an exact timing right. But we figured out there was a cheat to it that we figured out how to make it
you
work.
fixed the glitch.
We
You
fixed
fixed.
the glitch. Yes, that's a way.
Were there any hurdles around getting approvals from FDA or any other
No,
regulatory
I
boards?
knew all about that, all the health department stuff from the truck business, and I knew all about. So that wasn't a headache at all. But yeah, it was.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
and keeping the product formulation consistent wasn't a problem either.
It was to figure out how to make it right. So we spent months with the pouches just trying to figure out, okay, this tastes great right now. Is it going to taste great 2 months if it's sitting on the shelf? So figuring out how much air, how much stabilizer, making sure to get all of that accurate. So yeah, most companies would spend millions of dollars and years in R&D. I didn't have the time to do that because I had a bunch of people knocking on the door that wanted our product. And they say build the plane as you fly it. We really did that. Yeah.
Hey everybody, Adam here from the Podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by the team at Fountain. Fountain is your full-service frontline workforce management platform. I have to tell you, Fountain's offerings are some of the most robust I've seen for any product in the space. They offer full solutions for hiring, managing, and retention. They are truly a one-stop shop focused on the frontline workforce. They also create informative content using their data. For example, they analyze a bunch of data from their fast food chains and created a trend report you could download now on their website. They also have a new ebook out called Frontline Voices. There's a lot to dive into. Certainly check it out. And you could learn more at fountain.com, linked in the show notes. Thank you. And I want to talk about fundraising for a little bit. I mean, it all starts with that friends and family round.
Yeah.
And how did you approach, fundraising? And I'm sure you were raising a lot of eyeballs and getting attention from outside investors. What's been your approach?
I've been very successful at it, but I do not consider myself a good fundraiser. The data shows otherwise, but I met with friends and family who I knew had money, and I said, I put together a deck, and I brought samples. I'm like, I'm trying this thing, but the caveat, which I told all of them, I said, do not remortgage your house.
No.
If this is money that I believe in this, but it could fail. You need to be okay with the fact that this might be worth zero. Like, I have no clue what's going to happen here. And I don't want to say it was reverse psychology, but the people that I said donated, the people that invested, they believed in me and they believed in the product. So I think my track record of hustle on the trucks for 9 years and seeing that and the product itself,
right.
I think this could work, and they loved it. So.
Well, you hit on something really important too. That it's a passion, and B, you had the receipts. You were doing this for a long time. You've mastered the formula there. But that expansion of going to thousands of stores nationwide is massive. Like, how did you approach scaling without losing the soul of CVT?
Well, that was really interesting. So we were Southern California based. LA, the press put us on the map as this new product, like, you got to try it kind of thing. And then I got a chance meeting with the heads of Live Nation right away, like 3 months since Gelson's launch. And they said, you just solved our dessert problem. We can't sell ice cream at concerts. It's too messy. We want to give it a shot. So they gave me 10 venues on the West Coast. They said, if you hit these benchmarks, we'll take it nationwide. We hit the benchmarks, and I was like, oh my God, we just went from maybe a couple hundred stores in LA to 47 concert venues across the country. Each concert venue has about 15,000 people at every show.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Can the product keep up in Phoenix in July and 110 degrees? Like, how can we make this all work? So yeah, it was definitely trial by fire, and I didn't have time to breathe because it was just so quick. Go.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And folks, Joe and I were talking before. I told him I live near Jones Beach, the theater here. It's like, hey, Dan, haven't you seen the product there? I'm like, I never even thought to get ice cream at the venue, and I've seen the Mr. Softy there, and I never want to get it because it's going to be in a cup, it's going to melt, it's going to be all over the place. Look at NFL stadiums, Getty Museum, Lollapalooza, Gov Ball. Like, when you're at these festivals walking around and you see people enjoying the product, that's got to be like the ultimate reward as an entrepreneur.
It is unbelievable. My first concert was a Live Nation. It was in LA. I wanted to see it. I wasn't a huge fan of them, no offense. It was Matchbox 20, but I wanted to go check it out. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around, and people are eating the ice cream out of pouches, and I just lost it. And I'm like, people are probably looking at me like, man, this guy must be a huge Matchbox 20 fan. What is he crying at the concert? But I was just like, it literally, they had no clue about the story. They had no idea that I was like sweeping sprinkles on an ice cream truck to now being at the venue. It's surreal. I don't take any of it for granted. And I also preach a lot about luck. I know people don't want to hear that, but there were a lot of chance meetings involved. Yes, I worked hard. Yes, I have a great product. There was definitely luck in terms of
But
people.
isn't luck, right? Everyone has their definition of luck. Isn't luck when, opportunity and talent, talent, talent meets, that opportunity, right? When talent, hard work, you put in the time, you do things right, and you're at the right place at the right time. You
Yes.
pay your
Okay. So
dues.
I will say I've been at the right place at the right time with this product. But yeah, there was a lot of those meetings that happened because who knows why? The stars aligned.
That's so interesting too. So the ice cream, it feels nostalgic, it feels modern. Like how do you balance that heritage and innovation in the marketing and the decisions moving forward?
So we just keep it fun, really. I don't want to say like family friendly, even though we are a family friendly product, but we definitely sort of like with the whole influencer thing, we make fun of stuff a lot. I try to have fun with our social media. But yeah, I'm not going to be putting avocado in the ice cream. There's not going to be an olive oil flavor. Like there's a lot of
No.
art. And this is interesting. I won't not specifically.
Please.
We all know which brands I'm talking about, but those higher end brands, our product has the same butterfat as theirs. It's the same, but we're not going after the bougie clientele. So even I sound like such a hypocrite. We became known as a celebrity brand in LA, and then I tell you we're not going after bougie clientele.
But that happened organically. That happened organically because they're fans of the product. Again, going back to it, you didn't put it in their hands. They went and got it and put it in their own hands.
Yeah.
That's a key difference.
For sure.
They went out and sourced it themselves.
Yes. So
right, like that's that.
We will expand our flavor. We will have more flavors, but we're not going to be doing these crazy. I want to keep it nostalgic and fun. That's the goal.
And that's like, I mean, you got to have a strawberry product coming out, right? There has to be something strawberry related. I'm guessing maybe a cookies and cream. You got to think of some of the traditional kind of flavors there.
Yep.
Because you don't like the more you expand your product line, yes, you start to have new troubles, right? The more SKUs you add.
Also, what I've learned is, especially in CPG, people are measuring our numbers in grocery, and this product is far beyond grocery. We are at Gillette Stadium now, where the Patriots play, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. This is a live event space product in addition to grocery. I would love to go after more hotels, like Hotel Vegas, airlines, etc. Like there's a lot of opportunity beyond the grocery. So yeah, that's really where we're headed.
Think big, right? Like think big. So what's been that key to keeping like the brand voice consistent as you've gone from local favorite to this national? How do you keep it real?
I don't know how to say this without sounding like narcissistic, but it's me running the marketing. I tried for 3 months last year and I handed it off to an agency to the point where I had people DMing me saying, "Who's running your Instagram nowadays?" I had to take it back. So I think it's me in my brand voice, and I don't have any intention from my creative TV, film, acting and writing aspirations. I find so much joy in doing that I don't feel like handing it off. But yeah, I think just keeping it real in terms of like calling people on their stuff and letting this is real. This is not green juice.
No, it's not. And that's really what it's like. So how do you like, let me ask you, how old are your kids now?
14, 11, and I have twin 6-year-old boys.
So they are old enough to see, daddy hustling out there, right? Like how do you find that balance between growing this business and being an active parent?
Well, it's funny. I finally stepped off the trucks after about a year ago, and my employee who's been working with me forever, Sean, has been running the trucks. But I thought I'd have more time to spend at home, and it hasn't worked that way because I'm now traveling so much with CPG. But what I have been doing is taking them along for the ride. So we did a crazy tour with Live Nation last year. We went to 33 concerts with my kids. It was
That's a great summer. That's cool.
So I'll tell you really quickly.
Please.
Live Nation gave us a massive ticket bank. They said, "What do you want to do? What kind of contest?" I said, "Well, I heard Billy Joel doesn't sell out the front row of his concerts. He invites the fans from the back. I want to go to concerts and invite people from the lawn, bring them up front, buy them an ice cream, and we'll shoot it for social media." They said, "That's a great idea." I go home and I tell my wife I'm going to go around the country and do this thing. And she's like, "Well, we should all go." I said, "Are you out of your mind? Like 4 kids in a van? What are we going to do?" And so we did it. So yeah, my kids went to 33 shows. We had the summer of a lifetime.
Oh my God.
It was the CVT tour.
What was your favorite show, favorite venue?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, Jones Beach was beautiful by you.
I wish I knew you back then. We would have met up. It would have been great. What show did you see at Jones Beach? Do you remember?
Saw a bunch of shows. I think we saw Dave Matthews there.
I was there, yeah.
That's so funny. The Gorge in Washington is gorgeous.
Oh, that's on my bucket list.
It's incredible.
Red Rocks is on my bucket list.
So there's a venue they have on the water in Chicago. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my
It's
head.
an amphitheater. I forgot the name of it. Yeah.
Northerly Island Bank something. I'm botching it right now. But that was beautiful. You have the Chicago skyline and then Lake Michigan right behind you.
Well,
As
you're
far
doing
as
it, man.
shows, I can't play favorites. There were so many incredible shows. My kids are spoiled rotten. They have no clue.
They have no clue.
Yeah, and it was like red carpet, everything. I tell this story. So we were at Styx and Foreigner in
That's
Dallas.
a fun show.
Yeah, and we're backstage, and there's pinball machines. And my kids, they don't want to watch the show because there's pinball. They want to play, naturally. The next show was Santana Counting Crows in Indianapolis. And my 10-year-old turned to me and he goes, Dad, there's no pinball here. And I stopped. I took him to the back of the lawn. I said, none of this is normal. This is where we usually sit.
Yeah.
Like, there it shouldn't be pinball. Most people don't go backstage at concerts. This is not normal. So anyway, you asked about family and work-life balance. I try to find it. It's always challenging. I try to take them along with me whenever I can.
Lead by example, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I got to start doing more of that. My daughter's 13, my son is 7. I'm thinking about taking them on a business road trip. It's got to be right, it's got to work out. But everybody I talk to has done it. Like, there's always that trepidation at first, but then afterwards they talk about the experience. Like, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No,
they get to see, they get to experience, they get to see what mom and dad do and how they got there.
Yep. And my kids have been on the trucks back in the day, catering that TV shows that they watched, and they on the streets. And then, yeah, they've been a part of my 14-year-old has been there. He was 3 years old when I opened the business. So he's been a part of the whole ride. And we put our family photo on the back of the pouch. So he gets to brag to his friends, like, yeah, that's me. So it's cool.
What a great story. So what are you conquering next after pouches?
Oh, I don't even know where to go from there.
Or is a pouch? I mean, the market is so expanded. I mean, there's so much opportunity.
We're still so small in CPG. I know we're in a ton of stores, but we're still growing. I mean, we're about to announce our first national retailer. We're regionally, like in New York, we're at Wegmans and Price Chopper, West Coast. Like, we're in close to 5,000 doors now, which is incredible. Wow. But they're all regional brands. We don't have a national yet. We're working on that right now, and we have one that we're about to announce.
Would you ever consider like a healthier version, a lower fat version, or is that just not what the product is?
We could. I think we'll consider a smaller pouch because people want that permissible indulgence. That's what I keep hearing.
It's a perfect size.
I agree, but some people want just a couple bites, and I said that's why there's a cap on it. You can put it away.
I mean, that's the other piece too. Like, maybe there's some writing on it too. Like, you don't need to finish this now. Save it for later. Maybe there's a whole social media campaign about that. Hey, you don't have to be a fat ass.
There you go. I had an ice cream distributor in San Francisco tell me, he said one of the top selling novelty ice creams is Nestle Dibs. It's that little red, you know what I'm talking about? And I was surprised by that. I was like, oh, why? He goes, do you know why? It's because you can put the lid back on it and put it away. I'm like, well, you can do that with this. I don't know anyone that hasn't finished one, but yeah, we're considering a smaller pouch in a multi-pack box so people can buy more than one.
I don't know, variety packs, right? Yeah. The small variety packs they could try. So, Joe, who's one celebrity aside from Bill Murray that you'd love to serve a cone to?
Oh, I've served them all. I mean, 9 years I've catered for everyone in Hollywood. I've got maybe one horror story that I won't share, but they're all. What's funny is that.
All right, leave the name out.
Okay. We had one really bad story where I used to lead with this line where I would say, hey, and I would never do it when there's a lot of people around. It's like, would you mind taking a photo for the business? Do you mind doing that? And I mean, I've got photos for days of celebrities that said yes. And one of the ones that said no didn't only say no, but they threw their ice cream back at us.
There's no need for that.
No, that happened. I will not name names.
That is just that. Yeah. I mean, that's Hollywood for you.
Yeah, I know when people are at work. What I love telling people, which they think is surprising, is all these celebrities that are in incredible shape. They still come to my trucks.
Well, that's their cheat snack, right?
Exactly.
When they have nutritionists and trainers and working on it. So, Joe, if you could go back to the beginning and change one thing, or give yourself one piece of advice to younger Joe when you launched, that first Charlie truck, what would it be?
Yep. It's gonna take time. I think that we live in a culture of I need it now. There's no attention span. It's got to happen now. I think if I could tell myself this is all going to work out if you work hard, just keep your head down and grind. I would love to, because I have no patience, and it took 10, 11 years to get to this point. And I wouldn't change anything other than the fact that I need to know that I need a little more patience.
It's, there's very few overnight successes in this world, and people only see the tip of the iceberg, right? They don't see the work that goes into it. They don't see, the receipts. They don't see like all the grind and Joe, what's keeping you up at night these days?
Trying to grow faster. I know that that's probably not something that I need to do, but I just want to. I want to get this to as many people as possible. I want to be known as the first. So I'm trying to move quickly.
Do you have a vision of an exit, or is it like, is there a number in your, I'm asking for the number, but like, is there a number in your head to exit out of this, or are you looking to stay in this for the long game?
I see a lot. I mean, some of the conglomerates own 60-70% of the ice cream business. So yeah, it would be very hard to turn down a large check. I would be open to that. I've heard from a lot of people, oh, you worried about competition? We have patents on the actual process, so it'll be challenging. But I've been hearing that a lot of the people will buy the innovators before they innovate themselves. So yeah, if I have 4 kids, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. So,
no, you got colleges to pay for and futures and weddings and life, and you want to, you're at a good age where, like, you know what, there's so much more life to enjoy, right?
Yeah, so we'll see. It's if there's an opportunity to exit, I would definitely be open to it.
I'm sure there's some other ideas spinning in your head. What else would you love to create?
Man,
outside of food, maybe.
Outside of food, I don't. Here's an idea that someone can take it who listens to your podcast, and this shocks me. Los Angeles is car crazy. Los Angeles is movie crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There are little to no drive-in movie theaters in Los Angeles and across the country. I don't know. I mean, stadium seating, people want IMAX sound and all that stuff. I don't want to do it. I don't have the bandwidth to do that. But I think there's someone who's listening to your podcast. I think that people miss the nostalgia. We're so stimulated by all this craziness and technology that I think throwbacks can be incredible. And there happens to be a few of them, but I just feel like there's something that could be kind of fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Bring back the drive-in movie theater.
Yeah.
So Dave, Joe, last but not least, right? I mean, this is an incredible story of harnessing your passion, taking a dream, making it a reality, and then even taking it to the next step where you are now across retail. And most people would look at this and be like, damn, Joe and CVT are incredibly successful, but we all know that the journey never ends. Joe, how do you define success?
You're asking tough questions, Adam.
That's what we do here.
I know. I got to think on this one. I think for me personally, success is freedom and just having the ability to, I mean, I say this, but it's not true. I'm not being honest here. I say to work when I want to work and take time off when I want to take time off, but I work 24/7. But I think having the freedom to have somewhat more of a work-life balance is success for me. Just being able to enjoy things a little bit more and having less stress about finances. We're not there yet, but I think that as part of an exit would definitely be part of that. I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. And honestly, I've been asking this question a lot over the last year or so, and that's really what it's all about, right? It's about having the freedom to do what you want. And it's not always about the money. Yes, the money helps. The money is a fuel to your options, right? Money is a fuel to your options. But, I say it all the time, like, I have a lifestyle business here, right? I'd love to be making more money, but I have the ability to be at my kids' games, take them to doctor's appointments, show up when I need to. And for me, that's everything. So, Joe, I want to thank you so much for joining us here. I want everyone out there to check out CVT Soft Serve. It's available in grocery stores across the country. And if you're near a Wegmans, Safeway, Price Chopper, Central Market, Ralph's, Fred Meyer, and available for delivery nationwide through Goodness. You can find full list of stores at cvtsoftserve.com. Follow them on Instagram at cvtsoftserve. Where else could folks connect? Where could they learn more? Did I say everything there?
You said everything, but yeah, cvtsoftserve.com. We've got a store locator where you can find a store near you.
Awesome. Joe, Nicchi, thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast. I love it. I love the product. I'm going to have to start looking for it out in Long Island because I think my kids are hooked on it, but I'm sure we could find it. Joe, this has been incredible. And everyone listening, thank you for joining us on the podcast. You know where to find out more at thepodcast.com. Check this episode. It'll be out on YouTube at youtube.com/thepodcast. Subscribe, comment, network. Remember, sharing means caring. And also, be good to yourself, be better to others, and catch us next week for another great episode of the podcast. Take care, everybody.
Wisdom is forever, but for us, it's time to go. Thank you for joining us. Luckily, we'll be back with our next episode soon, jam-packed with more incredible humans. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and sharing. To join the conversation, search The Podcast on LinkedIn. And to catch up on past episodes and more info, please visit www.thepodcast.com.